Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Temple Israel. I'm Rabbi Michael Wolk here on the Bima with my colleague, Cantor Shira Lissick. Nice to be back here up again with you. And we welcome all of our congregants joining us over Zoom and over StreamSpot. And a very special welcome to Ben Spiegler, son of Karen and Jason Spiegler, who is here with us in the sanctuary together with his family. Ben is going to be called to the Torah tomorrow morning as a bar mitzvah, and we're thrilled to be able to spend this Shabbat with all of you. We start off our time together tonight by welcoming in Shabbat, and I invite everyone to please rise as we light the Shabbat candles.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kinishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom. May be seated. Call on our bar mitzvah for this week, Benjamin Spiegler, who's going to lead us in Kabbalat Shabbat. Ben, come on up. We turn in our Sidor Lev Shalem to page 11. Let us go and sing to Adonai. Let us trumpet praise to our protector. Filled with thanks, let us greet God, raising our voice in song. Page 11, Lechuner Anena.
Lechuna ranina, lechuna ranina, lechuna ranina, ladonai. Lechuna ranina, lechuna ranina, lechuna ranina, ladonai. Naria, litzor yishinu, nikad mafana betoda. Naria, litzor yishinu. Bismi wrote Naria lo. Lechuna ranina, lechuna ranina, lechuna ranina, ladonai. Lechuna ranina, lechuna ranina, lechuna ranina, ladonai.
The heavens shall be glad and the earth rejoice, the sea and its fullness roar, even the meadows and all that grows in them exult, even the trees of the forest shall sing praise as Adonai comes. Page 14, the middle of the page, Yismachu Hashamayim.
Yismahu Hashamayim. Yismahu Hashamayim. Yismahu Hashamayim. V'tagil haren. Yismahu Hashamayim. Yismahu Hashamayim. Yismahu Hashamayim. V'tagil haren. Yiram hayam. Yiram hayam. Yiram hayam. Umalo o. Yiram hayam. Yiram hayam. Yiram hayam. Umalo o. Yismahu Hashamayim. Yismahu Hashamayim. Yismahu Hashamayim. V'tagil haaretz.
We turn to page 20, the final three lines of the page for Romamu.
Romimu Adonai Eloheinu Veishtakavu Lahar Kotro. Romimu Adonai Eloheinu Veishtakavu Lahar Kotro. Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romimu. Ki Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu Adonai Eloheinu Veishtakavu Lahar Kocho Romemu Adonai Eloheinu Veishtakavu Lahar Kocho.
We continue on page 23. We welcome the Shabbat Kala, the Shabbat Bride, Lecha Dodi, page 23.
Lacha lacha dodi likra kala pene Shabbat nakabala. Lacha lacha dodi likra kala pene Shabbat nakabala. Shamor v'zachor bidi bor echad Yishmi yanu elam echad Adonai echad u'shemo echad L'shemo tiferet v'liti la 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 Lacha lacha dodi likra kala Pene Shabbat nakabala Lacha lacha dodi likra kala Pene Shabbat nakabala Likrak Shabbat lehu v'nelcha Ki hi mekor ha-baracha Mi rosh mi kedem nesucha Sof ma'aseh b'maha Shabbati la 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 Lacha lacha dodi likra kala Pene Shabbat nakabala Lacha lacha dodi likra kala Pene Shabbat nakabala Boi v'shalom ater bala Gam misimcha u'v'tzachala Tov emunei am segula Boi chala la 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 Lacha lacha dodi likra kala Pene Shabbat nakabala Lacha lacha dodi likra kala Pene Shabbat nakabala.
May be seated. Ben Yasher Koach for getting us started. You're off to a great start this Bar Mitzvah weekend. We continue page 27, a song for the day of Shabbat, Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat, page 27.
Mizmor shir le'yom HaShabbat Tov lehodot l'Adonai Tov lehodot l'Adonai U'zamer l'shimcha elyon U'lezamer l'shimcha elyon Mizmor shir le'yom HaShabbat Tov lehodot l'Adonai Tov lehodot l'Adonai U'zamer l'shimcha elyon U'lezamer l'shimcha elyon Lehagid baboker chastecha ve'emunatcha ba'alilot alei azor va'alei navel alei higayon ve'chinor Mizmor shir le'yom HaShabbat Tov lehodot l'Adonai Tov lehodot l'Adonai U'zamer l'shimcha elyon U'lezamer l'shimcha elyon Tzaddik tamar yifrach נשמח כארז בלבנון יזכה, שתולים בבית אדוני, בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו. עוד ירבו בשיבה דשנים ורעננים יהיו, להגיד כי ישר אדוני, צורי ולא הבלטה בו.
Page 29.
Adonai malach gehu lavesh, lavesh Adonai oti tazar, aptikon tevel bal timot. Mikolot mayim rabim adirim mishpereyam, adir bamarom Adonai, erotecha nemnu miolvetcha navakodesh, Adonai leorech yamim.
Each and every Shabbat, we bless our children with the words of the Birkat Kohanim, the priestly blessing. Here in our community, we extend those words of blessing to our children, to our parents, to all those in our family who we love, our community who we care about. Too many people who have been distanced from us for too long. It's wonderful to be in the sanctuary with the family, getting to see each other again for the first time fully in over a year. A family celebrating many anniversaries and simchas this Shabbat. Mazel tov to all of you. But if you're not familiar with the story, with this book, it's the story of a tiny caterpillar who hatches from an egg on Sunday, eats through the first week of life, builds a small house called a cocoon, really should be a chrysalis, but we're not going to quibble, nibbles his way out, and at that moment, he was a beautiful butterfly. Sound familiar? You've read it before? Okay. So early in the pandemic, my attention was called to this book because someone with way too much time on his hand opened the book and set the short text to the trope, to the cantillation that we use to chant the Haftarah. So Ben, you're an expert in chanting Haftarah right now. If I gave you this book, would you want to read it like your Haftarah tomorrow instead? No? Okay, well let me show you what I am talking about. We'll stick with your traditional Haftarah. I hope I can do this now that I'm saying it. He recorded this and he put this on YouTube. And it went like this. In the light of the moon, a little egg lay on a leaf. One Sunday morning, the warm sun came up, and pop out of the egg came a tiny and very hungry caterpillar. Very familiar text, familiar sounding melody, right? I know, it makes the book. It makes the book. And I love that recording because Torah trope, Haftarah trope are one of my favorite skills to use. I really like chanting Haftarot. And children's books are a major part of my life at this point with two small children. Now I bring this book up this week, and I mention it this week, because the author of this book, Eric Carle, passed away last Sunday at 91 years old. Eric Carle wrote more than 70 books and has been recognized for his lasting contribution to children's literature. He had a very interesting life. While he was not Jewish, his life too was shaped by experiences with the Nazis, when as a child he was forced into labor, digging trenches along battlefields. While he wouldn't speak about his experiences in Nazi Germany, he did say that his time spent in war zones had deeply influenced his writing for children, his work for children. Now, one of the nice things about children's books is that they have their own Torah. That is, they have their own teachings. And those teachings, those lessons, those morals are often more obvious than the lessons meant in books meant for adults. So the clever man who set this book to Haftarah trope used the book to teach how our cantillation, how our trope marks, help us read the sentences of our ancient texts. But what Torah, what teaching, I wonder, was Eric Carle trying to teach us in this little book about a colorful caterpillar? Well, on the 50th anniversary of the publication of this book, he explained the lesson that he meant to convey. It took me a long time, he said, but I think it is a book of hope. Children need hope. You, little insignificant caterpillar, can grow up into a beautiful butterfly and fly into the world with your talent. I love the fact that the idea that Mr. Carle, who lived through a very dark period in history, who was forced to participate in it as a child, was writing for future children that they could see hope in dark situations, that they should look forward to a better future. It's an optimistic book about a caterpillar who makes his way in the world until he is able to fly as a butterfly. It's a great message for young children. It's a great message for adults as well, that hope that things will get better, that we who may feel powerless will one day be able to fly in the world around us. For the last 14 months or so, we have looked for signs of hope. The hope that we will be able to leave our houses, the hope that we will be able to see the people who we love, the hope that we will be able to do all the things that we want to do. Well, it took a long time, but now we are finally in a place where we can see our hopes realized as more and more people get vaccinated, as COVID cases fall, and as restrictions around us loosen. I've become so used to telling people to stay home. You shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. But now, as the rabbi, I get to tell you to come on out. I'm inspired by Eric Carle of blessed memory this week who taught that hopes for a better future can be realized. My second inspiration this week is our Torah portion, the Parsha of Behalotcha, and the creation of a new holiday called Pesach Sheni, or the second Passover. When a group of Israelites who are impure, ritually impure, and unable to celebrate Passover with the community go to Moses and ask him what to do, God responds by giving them a second chance. 1 month later, 1 month after Passover, they will have another opportunity to offer the Passover sacrifice and to eat it together with matzah and bitter herbs. We can learn something from every character in this story. But this year, right now, I really identify the most with the impure Israelites. Well, not exactly the same. They are similar to people who are sick, and because of that, they cannot join together with their community. They cannot come together with people to celebrate. And it's that feeling of loss that drives them, that feeling of not being able to do something that is meaningful, that is important to them, that teaches them just how important that thing, in this case, Passover, is. I've seen this throughout the pandemic when people have asked about pretty much every aspect of synagogue life or Jewish life or regular life because they missed it and didn't realize how much they missed it until it was gone. Until now, we almost always had to say no. Now we have the opportunity to say yes. I hope that since last year, we have learned what is important to us by what we have missed, and that throughout this time we've been able to maintain some feeling of hope, the thought that things would get better, using that thought to carry us through. And now the time has come to act on that hope and on that missing and on that longing. If you have missed the feeling of community, of celebrating and of grieving together, of living Jewish life together, now is the time to come back to this temple, to Temple Israel. While we will continue to offer virtual options for participation, now is the time for all of us to prioritize moving back into physical community with each other, into being in the same space together. While it's certainly easier to stay at home in comfortable clothing on a Saturday morning and participate in Shabbat services with a cup of coffee, remember that the community you have missed will not be back until you are back. As Teresa, the president, likes to say every Shabbat when she gives her announcements for the last few weeks, this is what we have all been waiting for. Next Shabbat, the first Shabbat of June, you will be able to walk into Temple Israel without pre-registering, with no restrictions on numbers, and thank God with no plexiglass. I don't know many of you in person yet. Pandemic has made that a real challenge. But even though I don't know you yet, I have missed your presence here in this sanctuary, felt the loss of your presence here, looking out at an empty sanctuary week after week. Now is finally the chance when we can see each other. And I look forward to spending Shabbat with you starting next Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom. We continue on page 39. I invite you to please rise for the Baruch Hu. Be seated. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, whose word brings the evening dusk, whose wisdom opens the gates of dawn, whose understanding changes the day's divisions, whose will sets the succession of seasons and arranges the stars in their places in the sky, who creates day and night, who rolls light before darkness and darkness from before the light.
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים. תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד, ברוך אתה אדוני, המריב הרבים. אהבת עולם בית ישראל עמך, אהבת תורה מצוות. יהם חיינו ואורך ימינו, והם נגע יומם ולילה, בבטחה תציר ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. אם שמוע תשמע. אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Then Moses, Miriam, and the people of Israel joyfully sang this song to you, Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, page 44.
ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה ומרים ובני ישראל, לחנו שירה בשמחה רבה, ואמרו כולם, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך באלים, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, מי כמוך נהדר. נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, אוסף אלה. נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, אוסף אלה. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע הים לפני משה. זה לי, זה אדוני את יעקב וגלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גל ישראל.
Allow us, Adonai our God, to sleep peacefully. Awaken us to life, O Sovereign. Blessed are you who spreads the canopy of peace over us, over all the people Israel, and over Jerusalem. We continue on page 45 with the Hashkivenu prayer.
Hashkivenu, Adonai, Eloheinu, Leshalom, Leshalom. Hashkivenu, Adonai, Eloheinu, Leshalom, Leshalom. Behamidenu, Malkeinu, Lechaim, Chaim, Ufros Aleinu, Sukkot, Shlomecha, Shlomecha. When I lay down at night, when I rest my head, oh God, watch over me. And when the morning comes, we thank Adonai and pray for peace. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Lishalom, Behamidenu Malkeinu, Lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Lishalom, Behamidenu Malkeinu, Lechaim. ושמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ולשלום מעתה ועד עולם, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך. ברוך אתה אדוני, הפוריס סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים.
Amen. Page 46, please rise for Vishamru.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לתורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לתורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לתורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לתורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לתורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל. בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב אמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה. יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה ושפחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה וימרו. Amen.
We spend the next few moments in silent prayer, the words of the Amidah beginning on page 47.
You've completed your Amidah, you may be seated. Ose shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam.
Page 54, Kaddish Shalem.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון ובמכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל, בגלה ובזמן קריב אמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה. יתברך יברח וישבח ויבר ותרומה מן הסייף יתזר בישראל וישראל השמי ריקוד שבריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תשבחתה ונחמתה זמירן מעלמה ואמרו אמן תיקה בארצות ובארצות זוכו ישראל קודם אבונו ושמי ואמרו אמן יהי שם הרע מן שמי וחיים עלינו בערכו ישראל ואמרו אמן עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן amen.
Ben, would you join us back up on the bima? Page 55, please rise as Ben leads us in Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'yahava uvratzon hinhi lanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit ki hu yom tehila l'mikorei kodesh zecher l'tziyat mitzrayim Kivanu v'charta v'yotanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha b'yahava uratzon hinhaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat.
Amen. L'chaim, keep it set.
Yashikach Ben. We continue on page 56 with Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוצר הארץ ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל ושכינות זו בגבי מרומים הוא אלוהינו אין עוד אמת מלכינו אפס זולתו כך כתוב בתורתו וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל ועל הארץ מתחתינו. כי המלכות של חיי עולמי תמלוך בכבוד, ככתוב בתורת אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
May be seated. We turn to page 58. This Shabbat, we mark the yortzites of Helen Aronson Shear, William Bernard Leibowitz, Gertrude Sherman, Irene Eisenberg, William Weinstock, Mimi Benzel Gould, Walter Gould, Barbara Loeb, Sophia Podell, Charles Edgerly, Andrew Weber, Catherine Goodfriend, Isabel Summerstein, Myrna Trump, Aleph Rich, Howard Weinberg, Cynthia Cohen, Jaime Zalman, Patrice Rosen, Sarah Berkman, Friedel Stern, Robert Katz, Rose Isakoff, Morris DuPont Robin, Lucille Becker, Francis Benetti, Bernard Beck, Lawrence Boxer, Elsie Dopkin-Brodsky, Anna Roth, Minnie Sutker, Leah Solomon, Vivian Leibowitz, Francine Levine, Gloria Markman, Bernard Strouch, Sophia Mayer, Herman Herbstman, Milton S. Cantor, Arlene Shapiro Miller, Ronald Moore, Abraham Cole, Herbert Peters, Bertha Lewin, Pearl Rosenthal, Sandra Novus, David Richmond, Sam Jerkovich, Nancy Rychek, David Gold, Sam Jerkovich, Fern Pomerantz, Neil Barris, Eileen Somerset, Esther Mond, Stefan Gutstein, Estelle Lieb, Meyer Cohen, Sadie Kay, Sally Sherman, Rabbi Rudolph M. Rosenthal, and Evelyn Smeagol. Turn to page 58, and I invite those in mourning or marking a yard site to rise and join me in the mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalmad divera kirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehi shemei Rabbah mevorach leolam u'lomei olmaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei, v'yitadar, v'yit'aleh, v'yithalal, shemei dekudsha brichu, le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechemata, damiran v'yalma v'yimru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru, amen. Oseh shalom v'imromav, V'yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru, amen. May be seated. I call on past President David Rosenthal for some words of Shabbat greeting.
Can I unmask? Shabbat Shalom. On behalf of our shared congregational family, the Board of Trustees, and my family, welcome to Temple Israel, and a special welcome to any and all guests joining us from near and far, physically and virtually, in particular, Ben's family and friends. Temple Israel, our shared sacred community, was founded in 1895. For those of you doing the math, we're celebrating 125 years. It was founded by dreamers. The dream is continued by all of you. We are a people who have realized many dreams and make many dreams come to fruition. Temple Israel is affiliated with the United Synagogue of Conservative Judaism, Masorti Olami, and committed to reframing conservative Judaism, shifting the American Jewish paradigm from one of scarcity and surviving to one of abundance and thriving. Very poignant, Barry Weiss wrote an op-ed in the New York Times some time ago titled, "To Fight Anti-Semitism, Be Proud of Your Judaism." I've slightly altered the title, by the way. In these trying times, our best strategy is to build without shame a Judaism and a Jewish people and a Jewish state that are not only safe and resilient, but also generative, humane, joyful, and life-affirming. A Judaism capable of lighting a fire in every Jewish soul and in the souls of everyone who throws in his or her lot with ours. At Temple Israel, we are doing our best to celebrate and stand proud of our Judaism. Our focus is on actively nurturing a thriving, vibrant culture infused with music, inspiring all to enjoy meaningful connections with one another, the broader community, Torah, and God through traditional and innovative expressions of Judaism in the 21st century. Again, thank you for being present, coming together as a community, and welcoming Shabbat. Thank you also to Rabbi Michael Walk and Cantor Shira Lissick for leading services, Adam Ward for his musical accompaniment, Sean Seifert for his audiovisual support, our Zoom Gabbai, Karen Turk, as well as our entire team of professionals and volunteers contributing to your service experience. We are blessed with a fabulous team and community. It is indeed magical. We look forward to you returning and enjoying that magic in a physical presence. Thank you to all our donors and those committing their time, energy, and capital. Your unwavering commitment and dedication will ensure Temple Israel thrives into the foreseeable future. A warm welcome to Ben Spiegler, his parents, Karen and Jason Spiegler, and his family and friends. Ben, you led us in Kabbalat Shabbat so confidently this evening. We look forward to your bar mitzvah during services tomorrow morning at 9:30. We're delighted by the CDC and North Carolina governor's announcement and the expansion of the COVID-19 vaccines to those ages 12 and older. We have sent a congregational email earlier this week letting you know we have lifted all protocols and procedures, starting with Shabbat services on June 4th, which means you can attend services without registration, free of all the constraints, except for a mask in the main sanctuary, starting Friday, June 4th, and Saturday morning. Join Temple Israel for Torah Tots Picnic Shabbat on June 4th at 5 p.m. We'll be featuring our Director of Congregational Education, Rabbi Helene Kornsgold, and Mr. Caleb with music and pre-boxed pizza dinners with gluten-free alternatives. The deadline to register is May 31st. If you have any questions, please call the synagogue office after Shabbat, of course, and Sue Ann will happily assist you. Social Club will host in an exclusive virtual format a movie showing of the Jewish Journey, America, on Sunday, June 6th at 1 p.m. Inquiries should be directed to Ruth Goldberg or Irving Beanstalk. After Shabbat, please see our website, Kol Yisrael, and your weekly email for complete information about in-person services, our Shabbat Zoom link, our stream spot box, and upcoming events, including youth events with Alan Jonathan. We offer many opportunities for services, learning, community, and friendship. Please join us. Many in our community are less fortunate. Please consider a donation of items needed to Jewish Family Services. I'd also urge you to take some time over Shabbat to unplug and untether from your electronic devices. Enjoy spending quality time with your family and friends. Play a board game, not a boring game. Learn a new card game or share a story. We wish all of you an enjoyable Shabbat and a festive, celebratory Memorial Day weekend. Good Shabbos, L'chaim Tovim L'Shalom to everyone, and Mazel Tov Ben on attaining your bar mitzvah. Of course, tomorrow. That's the bigger role.
Thank you, David. Shalom. We turn back to page 5, and we conclude Kabbalat Shabbat with Shalom Aleichem, page 5.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Asharet, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malachi HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Asharet, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malachi HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ay, 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 Boachem Shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malachi HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu, Nilu Shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malachi HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu, Nilu Shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malachi HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ay, 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 Tzirchem Shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malachi HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.